Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because in my first business, I quit on my business partner. I was making $300 a month, and I didn't have the motivation to keep going. And the thing that got me through was studying the stories of entrepreneurs who've had massive success. And I hope that in sharing these stories with you, you find a motivation to keep going. And if I'm being honest, I still need the stories for myself today too. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Grant Cardone, and my take on his top 50 rules for success. Enjoy.
It can't just be one strategy. You're no longer just a phone person or an in-person person or an internet person. If you're heavily dependent upon the internet, do not abandon your other mixed choices. This is like mixed martial arts. We call it mixed martial selling. That's right, mixed martial selling. I am the mixed martial arts of sales because I use the phone, I use the internet, I use social, different than the internet. And number 4, I use a personal visit. I will walk in, knock on your door. And number 5, I use referrals. So what are your different mixed martial arts, if you will, your mixed arts of sales today? The internet's one, the phone's one, retail, traditional retail visits, 4, social media, and number 5, referrals, influencers, getting other people to endorse you.
Rich people do not value money the way poor people do. They invest money, they don't spend it. You know, the best spending is still worse than the worst investment. Like you could make a bad investment that would still be better than a smart spend. When you spend money, you don't get an investment back. And when you invest money, at least you got a possibility. I mean, at the very least, you get a tax write-off. So if I spend money on a belt, I can't write it off. I can only wear it. And if I invest money in a Grant Cardone belt and wear it on stage and it flops as a product and nobody ever buys it, it's at least a write-off. It was at least a promotion. So a bad investment is still better than a smart spend. So wealthy people don't spend money, they invest money. I was married to my business. I was not gonna do this until I had money.
Was that a good decision?
1,000%.
Or like if you had a relationship, you could accelerate it.
No.
Explain that.
Because I was the dream, and I believe this. I told my wife when I got with her, I said, look, I'll do anything for you, except one thing. I will not give up on my dream. If I got to surrender my dream, I'd rather be alone. Because if I abandon my dream, I'll abandon you. I truly believe that. I see so many people, man, they give up their dream for the wife. They give up their dream for the husband. They give up their, and then the wife and the husband get together and they have kids and then they give up their dream again because of the kids. And I said, the day we have kids, we cannot blame the kids for not going after our potential and our dreams. If we ever have kids when we were getting together. And she wasn't ready to have kids. She wasn't even ready for me. And so I knew she was the right person for me. And I'm like, look, I'll give you anything. Monogamy, I'll never cheat on you. I'll never jack around on you. I'll take care of you. I'll provide you with a life that you can only dream of. This was 12 years ago. I mean, this is way before Grant really hit full Grant, and which she's really added to and made it easier. But I said, look, if I got to be less than who I'm meant to be with you,
That's powerful.
can't give you that.
That's strong.
So I said, I got books in me. This was before I'd ever written a book. I said, I got books in me. I'm going to do the biggest events in the world. I'm going to do a TV show. Okay. I will be known by millions, if not billions of people. And I will leave a legacy. And that has been with me before I ever met you.
Amazing.
And I'm not giving that up, because if I give that up, I'll give you up.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
One of the things I built my entire career over. One thing that probably has me responsible for more deals, more closes, more companies, more business than any other single thing I've done in my career. Write the deal up, okay? When I'm buying real estate, I've bought and sold $750 million worth of real estate, every one of them. Every property I bought was a sales game. It was all a sales game. First, I had to get my finances right. Second thing I had to do was make a call, follow the guy up. He's trying to sell a property. I got to find out, why would you sell it to me? How can I get in his circle of influence? Okay, how can I get their attention? How can I then follow them up to keep their attention? Every real estate deal I've ever bought required me to follow up just to buy the deal, which is a sales job. 3, I had to use my mixed pass to get the deal. 4, I had to write a deal up. I can talk till I'm blue in the face. There's a guy, I wanted to buy his property. He wouldn't respond to my phone call, so what I did was send him an LOI, a letter of intent to purchase his property. Number 4, if you don't get to the write-up, nothing matters. You guys in retail, you guys and gals in retail, if you're not writing the customer up, you're showing the product, presenting the product, walking around the product, and you never write them up, you will never close a deal. Every deal you have ever closed in your entire lifetime, guarantee you wrote it up. You didn't talk about it to close it. You had them on a contract, on a proposal. Somebody had to sign something to buy it. You wrote them up.
I mean, different people have different ways they invest, but they tend to be more focused on the long-term appreciation of an asset rather than give me money this second. And I think they're not stuck in this get-rich-quick thing.
It's a delayed gratification.
Yeah, they're more like, yeah, I'd rather have wealth tomorrow than rich today. And they do have a distinction between the rich and the wealthy. The super wealthy are looking to create wealth beyond their own means and needs. Like, they're not thinking about their kids, their boat, their plane. I know people think that, but that's not actually true. They're actually thinking about, how do I create wealth for a lot of people? Amazon's got 1 million employees. Yeah. Now, most of them only earn minimum wage, but there's some people at the upper level of Amazon that are making fortunes. When COVID happened and the country shut down, I flew in. I told my guys, I'm like, hey guys, I want to get rid of an entire department, 43 people. And they're like, you're overreacting. I said, good, sleep on it. We'll talk tomorrow. Okay. So that next morning I called them at 8 o'clock. I'm like, are you guys ready to kill the department? No, we're not. I said, well, good, kill the department. It's not your call, it's my call.
Wow.
I don't need your support on it. Eliminate the department. There was 2 reasons I did that. Number 1, I needed our attention. By the way, it is the dream department of this company. I've tried to put this department together for 7 years and failed. And I'm still going to do it. It's a big dream of mine. So I had to give up a dream of mine. Now, this is one of my principles of success. Dude, if you want to move, give up something. Wow. Give something up. Surrender something you love. Like, 43 people did lose their job. Okay, it's terrible. 40 million would lose their job in the next 4 months. My 43 were the first. I was probably the first person to let people go in America.
Training. If you're not going to train, then put a sign on your desk, I quit learning a long time ago, and see how many people want to buy from you. Tell your family, go home and tell your wife and your kids, I quit learning, I quit reading, I quit studying, I quit training, I can't get any better. Put on there, done, I'm finished, I'm in retirement early, I'm going to purgatory, I'm going to wait it out, cross my fingers, and hope they bring me to sales heaven. Look, you're done if you don't train, okay? Now, I know you know this, you've heard it, I hate to tell you this. My boy Conor McGregor. My boy Conor McGregor. Okay, I went and saw him fight in New York. I went and saw him fight for one reason, because I saw him say, I'm not the best. This isn't about talent. It's because I'm obsessed. I out-train everyone else. I have to win so bad, I train. Look, if you're not training, that says something about your obsession or lack of obsession with winning. I want you to win. I know your wife or your husband, your spouse, your family members, your kids, your mom and dad want you to win at the next level, no matter what they tell you. Even if they tell you you're doing great, pat you on the back, you know the truth. You know the truth. The only way to win is to train. The only way to win is to read. The only way to win is to learn more, listen more, learn something new. Look, we're in a time like we've never been before. Technologies come and go faster than people do. Things are changing like this. Whether it's video you're using or social media or Snap or short videos or videos that disappear or videos that stay or text messaging that you can create to push and market and brand yourself called text messaging, which I've been using a lot. Look, the world's changing. And if you're saying to yourself, I'm too old to learn that, well then guess what? You're too old to learn that. If you can't learn anything new, just put, I'm ripe and I'm about to fall off the tree and nobody's gonna want me. Look, man, you gotta train every single day like your life depends on it. Train every single day. I am here today. I own these 4 companies that I own, the studio, my reputation, everything is because when I was 25 years old to when I was 30 years old, every single day, I trained watching video every day. I'd watch the video, I'd walk in, and then I would role play, and then we would do a sales meeting every single day.
What were the lessons you learned, starting from essentially zero, having no money, no context, no relationships, no opportunities in a town that you went to for this show? What did you realize were the keys to actually making money, even if you didn't have any?
Well, as you see the show, you see that I actually never make any money, right? So the 2 girls, they actually they follow 3 of us, and the 2 girls went out and got a job in the first week. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong or my way's more better or worse, but they are strategies. Okay, they're different strategies. I was not there to get a job or to earn money. I was there looking for one thing: opportunity. I never spent time looking for money ever the entire 90 days, okay? I'm not looking for money. I was actually looking for contracts through the contacts. I wasn't looking for money because I knew the evaluation of the company in the last segment. An evaluator will come in and determine what my company's worth, my new company, right, that I created. And at that point, I just need to validate to him, dude, my company's worth this based on that. The entire 90 days, I never touched the first 100 they gave me. And this was to prove to people, dude, you do not need money. Like, it's not true you need money. You do need contacts.
You need people. You need relationships.
You need people. You need the right people, though. The right people that are already in play, okay? Just because a guy's got money. I remember a billionaire friend of mine, he could buy a jet. And I said, hey, Bob, should I buy a jet? He said, you should, I shouldn't. Meaning, Grant should, and he's way wealthier than I am. He could have bought 40 of them. He's like, I don't have a place to go in mine. You could use yours every day. So you got to find somebody that's in place, somebody that not just has money, but somebody that wants to do more with their money. So you'll notice in the first 10 days, I don't spend any money. I don't spend money on shelter, not on food, and not on water. Nothing. Then what I do is I end up accumulating assets. And it's unfortunate that the viewer doesn't see this. Within 5 days, I have 2 vehicles. One was given to me by Discovery, and the other one was a $40,000 Jeep that I basically used from Ryan, this guy I met, and told him, I'm gonna sell your Jeep, I'm gonna drive it around town and put 10 miles a day on it, and I'm gonna sell it. Well, that's a $43,000 asset. My truck was worth $4,000. I still had my $100. I lived in a $46,000 RV that I was trying to sell. So,
yeah.
What's the other thing I did? And I picked up $10,000 to do in a 15% partnership in the equity of the upside of this guy's company. So literally in 10 days, wow. I was accumulating contacts that could get me equity. And the important part of that story is, man, go get you some equity. You know, Jay-Z talks about this. You're getting, so many of you young brothers are getting an advance while I'm picking up the equity. Okay, so what are we doing exactly?
So I have a face mask on,
and we're having Papa. Papa's been
watching us.
What is it called?
Being our Papa.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been like only him with us, and
so we're pulling a little prank on Mother. I've wrapped Scarlett's arm, the lower half of the arm. She probably won't find that funny, but we think it is. And so they decided to put makeup on me because Miss Scarlett's got the makeup of a 30-year-old, maybe 35-year-old.
True.
And, you dads out there, you busy dads that are all trying to find the life balance thing, How do you make enough time for your kids? You know, the question is it really about time, or is it about what you do with them? Because I tend to think it's more about what you do with them than. Can we see your makeup? Are we going to try to do the same thing on you,
No, we're going to do something
Scarlett?
different.
I did my own
Oh my
makeup.
gosh, you're going crazy, huh? Let's see how you're looking.
Sabrina helped me a little.
Is that what we're going to get?
I helped you because you were dying.
So guys, do you guys want more time with me, or is it the things we do with the time we have? Which one's more important?
I want more time with you.
You do?
Personally.
Well, I feel like we're gonna have fun if we're together.
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter what. I feel like
By the way, this is a fake broken arm.
But last night we watched a good movie. What was it?
it was called Soul.
Yeah. What, did you love it?
Yes,
It's a
I loved
Pixar
it.
movie.
It was super.
It's a
like,
Pixar and Disney.
Yeah. We're probably going to watch it again. It was such a
Yeah.
good feeling movie. Jamie Foxx was a lead
Good guy.
voice.
He was a jazz guy.
He was a jazzy.
Uh-oh, this is coming loose. So this is the prank that we're pulling on Mama.
It's not gonna run for long because I feel mean.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Oh, that's good. Matches your makeup, too.
What color should we do, Father?
Should I do your hand as well?
I don't
No,
think
you guys
so.
do whatever you want to
Do
do.
they usually do the hand?
Well, if you broke your hand, we would. If you broke your wrist, and then
I
I
don't
would have
think
to
I broke my hand.
I would cover it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so the question, Scarlett, that everybody wants to know is, how does a parent make time for the kids? And then, do you want more time, or is it things like this that you'll remember doing?
Close your eye. Close your eye.
Or will you even remember this?
I remember.
I'll remember.
I remember. I'm gonna do it to your eyebrow.
Can you see that I tucked it in a little? Is that visible?
And do I spend enough time with you guys? That's the question.
Okay, let me give you some answers.
Let's get it honest.
So
We're talking to the parents and the kids out there. First of all, is it hard being a kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it hard being a parent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which one's harder? In your mind?
Probably. I'd say adult.
You think being the parent's harder than being the kid?
I guess being a parent's harder.
I understand the affirmations and mental and be positive and meditation. How about some action?
Yeah.
You know, I have never thought something into existence without doing something. If you were an alien looking down at the United States of America and saying, okay, what is there too much of? Restaurants, bars, and businesses. There's too many of them. And then some kid pops up, Paul pops up and says, I'm going to start a new business. And the guy from outside the planet's looking down there saying, well, that's stupid. Why don't you just go 2/3 of all the businesses in America break even or lose money?
So what I'm hearing you say, Grant, is a lot of people have the dream of wanting to start and launch a business. But what I'm hearing you say is it's probably a lot smarter to go find a failing business or a business that's breaking even, jump in, add value, and see if you can 10x that.
Dude, that's how you get on planes. That's how you go to the hospital. You need emergency care. You don't build a hospital. You just go to the hospital. You want food, you go to Whole Foods. You want gas, you go to the gas station. It's no different in business. It's called a going concern for a reason. Find a going concern that's got a brand, go in. That's what I did. I just went in and added value. Once I added value, actually we end up splitting off another business out of that. The only thing I can control in my life are the things that I'm willing to take responsibility for. These gladiators that came here thousands of years ago and maybe lost their lives, if they took responsibility for the match, full responsibility, and I might be taking this too far right now, I don't know. I don't know what it was like to be a gladiator in 720, 740 AD, okay? I can't even imagine fighting in front of 50,000 people with lions possibly coming out to eat me, okay? But I know this, you really got to get this point carried away. You got to get it like in your head. You're an executive, you're a business owner, you're a manager. You're trying to hire people. You're trying to hire people and you're like, oh, the people are bad. Oh, everybody's terrible. Everybody's bad. I can't find good people. Dude, take responsibility. We all have something to do with what's going on around us. You and I authorize others to drop the bomb. Look, I've been robbed twice in my life. 23 years old, I was almost killed. Guy came in my house, put a .45 caliber pistol in my face, hit me right here, then put 70 stitches in my head and face, robbed me. In New Orleans, Louisiana, I was robbed at a younger age. I caused both of those. I was the victim in both situations. On the police report, victim robbed by criminals. Truth is, I wasn't a victim. I created both of those. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong people. I had something to do with that. Everything that happens to you is because of you. Quit passing it off, right? It's gonna rain on me right now while I'm shooting this. Dude, that's my fault. I could have shot this thing yesterday when it was sunshine. Watch and read high performance people and you will see that they always take responsibility. When their life goes to garbage, it's when they quit taking responsibility. The greats in the world keep track of everything. When they're in the game, when they're the gladiator, when they're the ball player, when they're the executive of a big company, they're statistizing everything, okay? How many outbound, how many inbound? What's our closing ratio? What's our right ratio? Everything is measured. Measure your actions and measure your results. Those that don't and won't are irresponsible and they will cause you problems. I remember as a young salesperson, I was keeping a log, not on what I sold, but on what I said to people. I kept everything. How many people I talked to, how many people I waited on, how many people I wrote up, how many people I negotiated with, how many people I closed, how many people I talked to on the phone, and also what they said and what I said, what worked and what didn't work. I was taking responsibility. This is the only way you can take responsibility, by the way. You can't just say, oh, I'm responsible. You got to do something to follow up the responsibility. It's how I handle and learned and became a professional salesperson. I handle the future by being responsible for the present. You go in that gladiator. You go in there as a gladiator in that Coliseum, okay? And you don't figure out how you lost that last fight, you're gonna die in the next one. Take responsibility. Even if the other guy cheated, he surprised you, he shocked you, he pulled out some other weapon you didn't know about. Be prepared for the future by taking responsibility for the present. So be responsible, be the cause, not the effect. Be responsible. Even when you're not responsible, be responsible. Bad things happen to good people. Good things, by the way, happen to good people. And blame no one, be responsible. And remember this, you wanna be great, you wanna be super successful, take responsibility for everything, even the things that you could have no responsibility for. I've been a sales guy for a long time, and I just learned early on, and I was terrible at sales. 17 years old, 18, 19, part-time sales guy, I was awful. When I finally realized that sales was the only job I could get at 25 years old, I'm just like, dude, I just got to tell people the truth because I can't do all these tricks. The NLP, right. And look, if it works for you, good, whatever, but the mirroring, the matching, they ask a question, you ask a question, the hot potato. I've heard all these strategies. And I'm like, dude, I just can't do it. I'm just gonna be me. Hey guys, I'm moving from LA. I'm out of work. I'm looking for opportunity. I'm trying to move my family here. My name's Lewis Curtis. 2008 beat me up. I got to get my family out of LA. Real estate's impossible. I can't buy it there. It's priced out of the market. And I'm here in Pueblo because I think there's opportunity here. And that's all I'm looking for. No handouts, no help. I got an old truck with me. I got no money. I left my kids with. You got to have your story. So this is what you got to do to play the game. One, you got to be committed. You got to be like, hey, I need to learn about real estate. You can't do real estate, Bitcoin, stocks. Like you can't do everything and be great at one thing. You just be a half-ass player at everything. And you'll never go hard enough on one thing to ever make you any big money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're going to play the crypto thing, then you need to know which crypto is going to win. They're not all going to win. And then you need to go hard and heavy on that one thing. Real estate, for 30 years, I've been studying the real estate game. And I mean, I know this game now. I got the eye. I'm looking for the barriers to entry. I'm looking for scarcity. I'm looking for irreplaceable. And I'm looking for something where I can add value to the property without spending a lot of money. I'm gonna probably spend $150,000 on the landscaping of this pool. That could be worth $5 large to me. That's a 35x return. I gotta be able to pay for it. I gotta be able to see it. I gotta be able to commit to it. But how are you gonna see the deal if you're looking at everything? You're not. So I'm on the ocean in Miami. I know the best property in Miami's got sand in front of it. There's plenty of condos. There's nothing you can really do with a condo. The only thing you can do with a condo is get a good price on it and hope to sell it for something later. On a property like this, you could actually overpay for a property like this if you got the I of the real estate investor, the REI. So look, if you want to learn, look at that, pelicans flying overhead, man, beautiful. If you want to learn the game the way I know it, this is a simple game, okay? Available to men, women, black, brown, white, Hispanic, you name it. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are. It doesn't matter what your religion or education is, okay? It doesn't even matter if you got a credit score, seriously, or money down. You got to know what you're looking for, because if you find the right deal, you can find money for it. These are the things they don't teach you in school, dude. Commit first, figure the rest out later. Commit first, okay? Commit first, figure the rest out later. Money is an illusion. Money is an illusion. There's so much money on this planet. There's more money on this planet than there are people. There's more money on this planet than there are planes. There's more money on this planet than phones. There's more money on this planet than cattle. There's no shortage. But there is a shortage of people committed to it, and there's a shortage of creativity and strategy. This is why I don't buy houses, okay? This is why Brandon's seen this presentation before, okay? This is my favorite topic in the universe. Because this is what allows me to move, okay? So when I take $15 million, okay, I buy $60 million worth of real estate. 15 million buys $60 million worth of real estate, okay?
With such big numbers, by the way, guys, you never rewrite the whole number out. He takes 3 zeros out the end all the time.
Okay. Well, and I'm not buying $60 million deals. So I'll do $1 billion worth of real estate this year. Okay, can y'all look at that number? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do this year. So I'm gonna take $300 million this year, and I'm gonna buy $1.2 billion worth of real estate. To me, it's a good deal. I can become a billionaire. I can own $1 billion, control $1 billion worth of assets for $300 million. All I gotta do is figure out how to get $300 million. God damn, this is like God, this is all the math I needed. I could have learned this in the 5th grade. I don't need any algebra, no trigonometry, calculus, don't need any of it. This, multiplication, leverage, $300 million worth of cash buys $1.2 billion worth of real estate in America, okay? That $300 million is gonna pay me $18 million a year in cash flow. Is that right? I think that's right. I'm gonna get paid $1.5 million every month to control $1.2 billion worth of real estate, okay? This is cash flow. Cash flow is what? It's freedom, baby, it's freedom. It's flow, it's current. It's a current. Currency, the word currency comes from current. If you look it up in the dictionary. Current, it has to move. See this right here, the 1.2 billion is not moving. That's good too though. That's good because you want something that's illiquid that will grow, right? This is the flow. The flow allows me to keep the asset until it appreciates. We're looking for unusual activity. Okay, there's unusual activity going on right now. You see it every day if you're looking for it. People are moving out of New York. Entire companies are starting to move. New Jersey, they're complaining about it, okay? They're pissed off as hell. The government, they changed the rules on writing your state taxes off against your federal. Now, what's that called? SALT. So, used to be that I paid 13% in California, and then I'm paying 48% in federal. I could take the 13 off the 48. Now it's not like that. Now it's 13 to 48, or 38 or 39, whatever. It's terrible. Okay? So, I take $300 million, it's cash, shit. It's worth less 10 years from now. How many believe this $300 million is worth less than 10 years? You don't need another math class. It's going down in value. I take the cash, the trash, and I buy concrete, steel, and glass. Where people live, okay, we don't buy any retail, nothing. No Macy's, no Bloomingdale's, maybe one day, but not today. These people have to have a place to live. When we buy this asset, it is cash flowing. We know it's gonna make us 6% in the first year, 5 to 7%, somewhere in that range, we should be paid on that deal. Okay, so this is really important. This cash flow right here, this cash flow is what will get you through a contraction. You have to have cash flow to assist you through contractions.
If you're not going to train, then put a sign on your desk, I quit learning a long time ago, and see how many people want to buy from you. Tell your family, go home and tell your wife and your kids, I quit learning, I quit reading, I quit studying, I quit training, I can't get any better. Put on there, done, I'm finished, I'm in retirement early, I'm going to purgatory, I'm going to wait it out, cross my fingers, and hope they bring me to sales heaven. Look, you're done if you don't train, okay? Now, I know you know this, you've heard it, I hate to tell you this. My boy McGregor, Conor McGregor or McGregor? My boy Conor McGregor. Okay, I went and saw him fight in New York. I went and saw him fight for one reason, because I saw him say, I'm not the best. This isn't about talent. It's because I'm obsessed. I out-train everyone else. I have to win so bad, I train. Look, if you're not training, that says something about your obsession or lack of obsession with winning. I want you to win. I know your wife or your husband, your spouse, your family members, your kids, your mom and dad want you to win at the next level, no matter what they tell you. Even if they tell you you're doing great, pat you on the back, you know the truth. You know the truth. The only way to win is to train. The only way to win is to read. The only way to win is to learn more, listen more, learn something new. Look, we're in a time like we've never been before. Technologies come and go faster than people do. Things are changing like this, whether it's video you're using or social media or Snap or short videos or videos that disappear or videos that stay or text messaging that you can create to push and market and brand yourself, called text messaging, which I've been using a lot. Look, the world's changing. And if you're saying to yourself, I'm too old to learn that, well, then guess what? You're too old to learn that. If you can't learn anything new, just put, I'm ripe and I'm about to fall off the tree and nobody's going to want me. Look, man, you got to train every single day like your life depends on it. Train every single day. I am here today. I own these 4 companies that I own, the studio, my reputation, everything is because when I was 25 years old to when I was 30 years old, every single day, I trained watching video every day. I'd watch the video, I'd walk in, and then I would role play, and then we would do a sales meeting every single day. And immediately, when I was 25 years old, that is what changed my whole life. My commitment to training, my commitment and willingness to sit down every day, take in a piece of data, sit down and role play that with somebody else, okay? Look at my stats every day, and on the way home, on the drive home, every single day, I would listen to audio. On my way to work every day, I would listen to audio. When I woke up in the morning, I'd watch video. Every morning when I got to work, I role played. Every time I lost a deal, I role played what I would do differently next time to get that deal. That is a commitment.
My personal integrity and ethics is why I can sell so hard. And because I believe in my product, I believe in my investment vehicle, I believe in my company. I don't trick people, screw people. Like 35 years I've been in business, there's not one person in 35 years that says I owe them money. There's people that try to get stuff from me using lawyers and bullshit, but there's nobody that can say I ever financially damaged them in any way, not a penny.
One of the best homes on this property is Villa One. It's a great property. It's not on the ocean, but it's big, about 10,000 square feet. I think they get 11 grand a night there. It's got 5 bedrooms, beautiful pool, infinity pool, beautiful property. I mean, everything here is gorgeous. You can't go wrong when you come down here. The landscaping's phenomenal. It's got the natal plums, the variegated. We got massive numbers of palm trees, hibiscus, bougainvillea. We got it all here. We got the birds of paradise. We got the ginger. We got the red bougainvillea, the purple bougainvillea, the white bougainvillea, the pink bougainvillea, the orange bougainvillea. You got it all, and it's popping and rocking. Best months of the year: December, January, February, March. Cabo San Lucas, welcome to Mexico. But I'm about to bring you into a villa. This is oleander, by the way, poisonous to children. I don't know if you knew that or not. And I don't know if you knew, oh, look at this big guy. Hey, bud, don't go there. There you go. I don't know if you know this, but I am a landscape, what is it called?
Junkie?
I love landscape. Just absolutely one of the most fascinating things. If I wasn't into the money game, I'd probably have a big landscaping business.
have you ever acted your way into a hole? I mean, because you just make decisions. You ever made one too quick and it's like, oh, that was the wrong one.
More often than not, dude, my instincts are right. And if they're not, at least I have the skill set to reverse quickly.
Gotcha.
Because if you take a long time to make a decision, you're going to take a long time to unwind one.
Say that once.
If you take a long time to make a bad decision, you're going to take a long time to unwind it.
Yeah.
Right? If I make a bad decision quickly, I buy a truck. I'm making this up. Boom, I'm going to buy that truck. I've made a decision quickly to buy it. I can also make a decision quickly to get rid of it. I bought a Cullinan, Rolls-Royce Cullinan. It's $446,000. I bought it before my growth conference. I bought it in the afternoon. Like, I'm going to buy that. I'm going to put it on stage. I got it. I'm like, this is stupid. $500,000 for a truck is stupid. I sold it the next day. So I bought it, sold it, boom. I wrote it off though.
Right.
I wrote it off because it was at my conference. So I'm just saying, like, if you get used to taking a lot of time to make decisions, if how you buy things is how you're going to sell things. And how you make decisions is how your organization is going to make decisions. First, I quit using drugs. I mean, the order, everybody wants to get better and have confidence, but the first thing you got to do is you got to quit doing whatever's destroying your self-esteem, you know? I'd like to believe that I could look in the mirror and tell myself I'm great and then I'd feel it, but if you're destroying yourself the other 23 hours and 56 minutes, the self-talk isn't going to matter. So I had to quit doing damage to myself. I hated myself. The worst part of my drug addiction was it wasn't just what the drugs were doing to me and the hangovers and the lost time, and it was the personal deprivation and degrade that I was doing to myself.
The guy's house that I'm in right now, T. Boone's house, he died, I think he was, 89 or 90, but this guy did so much stuff, man. He would go from he grew up in poverty, becomes worth a couple $2 billion, loses all of it, goes back to like $5 billion. It's like this guy could swing so hard, but he was very active. You know, he knew all the presidential people. He was in power. And I'm not saying everybody here needs to do that, but everybody has the potential to do that. And if you have the potential to do that, you should be in a rush to go do it. You know, when we're excited about doing something, when you go on a vacation, you can't even sleep the night before. You're like, I'm gonna get up at 5 a.m. We're gonna go to the airport. You waking up every 45 minutes. Is it time to go? And most people are not doing their lives like that today. They're just kind of same thing over and over. So, yeah, man. Now I'm running. You know, when I was 22, I had all 40 years, and now I'm starting to run out of time, and I'm like, oh, I gotta really get in a hurry now. I'm at the Hensel Castle today. Hensel Castle is a castellated mansion in the Gothic architecture style, dating from the late 17th century. Some say maybe the early 18th century. I mean, this has got history here. So here we are today in Wales talking about the attitude of service. One of the great rules of success is to give. The attitude of service is the rule of success that I promise you will deliver you at levels that you never imagined possible. It's what I built my career on. The ability to give at 100% and even more, and then keep giving. Nothing feels as good as giving. The more you give in life, in business, in relationships, the more you will get from that relationship, from your business, and from the world. Now, I'm not just talking about money and presents. How about energy? People ask me constantly, where do you get all your energy from? I get it from giving. How about money? The more money I give away to other people, whether it's employees or charities, the more money I'm gonna have. It could also be love or a smile or service or even education. When you wanna learn something, the best way to learn something is to start teaching it, sharing it with other people. Too many people today, they worry too much about what they get rather than what they can give to the marketplace, to their friends, to their families. When I have been most lost in my life, if I go into service, I will find myself, I will find my purpose again. Now, I know what you're thinking right now. If you don't have the money, the finances, the energy, if you don't have the friends you want, you're like, how can I give anything? I don't have anything to give. Everyone has something to give. Too many people have their hand out. Hey, what do I get
Too many people come to my office. What are you going to pay me, Grant? What are my benefits? Where's my office? Where's my desk? What's my view? People worry about the dumbest little things. You're always worried about what you get, and guess what? When you're worried and focused about what you get, you end up getting less. If you find somebody you want to work for, work with, go to them and say, hey, this is what I'm going to give you. Let me do whatever you need done, and I will get it done. Trust me, you're not going to be taken advantage of. You're going to get more than you ever imagined. Give is one of the great rules of success. And when you give with sincerity and authenticity. If it's not real from you, if it's not authentic and genuine, if you're not there to give to lots of people, knowing a very few of them will reciprocate with you and do business with you, if you don't do that with sincerity, it won't work. The universe is set up this way. Look at the ocean. The tide comes in, the tide goes out. Everything works like this. You give and you will get back. You just have to trust it, and you got to get your presentation right. People know when someone truly cares. I remember the first business I built when I was 29, maybe 30 years old. I would knock on doors. Hey, my name's Grant. I'd like to come in and do something for your staff to improve their sales, to motivate them, to give them strategies. How much is this going to cost me, young man? Before anybody knew Grant Cardone. And I said, look, it costs nothing. This was my way of introducing myself to the customer. Not wanting something in that moment, but wanting to start and create a relationship. People would tell me, hey, look, is this legit? Is it really, really free? People are so untrusting. Why? Because they haven't given themselves. Nothing is as attractive as someone who is positive and someone that genuinely wants to make a contribution. And we're not just talking about money here. We're talking about you contributing your heart, your energy, a smile. Look, when you pass a homeless person, somebody that actually needs help, and that homeless person says, hey, can you give me some money? And you're like, no, I'm not going to help you. How do you feel about that? If you give them something, even a smile, you will feel better. When you keep to yourself, when you don't take the time to give back, then the next few steps you take after that is you start to withdraw from people. Giving to others is like making deposits in a spiritual bank account. They will pay you back in the future.
Where's this 10X thing come from?
10X came from 2008 when the economy got crushed. I was in a completely different financial situation. And
Where were you?
I was in Los Angeles. I lived in Lionel Richie's house. And dude, I had it made. Like I was living the life. You know, Dre was my neighbor. Leo DiCaprio was next door. I'm dropping names now. I'm bragging. And throw it here, Johnny. And so when 2008 happened, I had 3 companies. The first 2 got crushed, and the third one was just frozen. It was a real estate company, and I couldn't do anything. And my hands were tied. I went from being free to trapped. And I said, I got to figure out what I did wrong. And rather than spending time blaming the mortgage, the mortgage crisis and the banks gave bad loans to people and trying to figure out, was it the Clintons or the Bushes that did this to me or whatever the political agenda was? I said, hey, what did I do wrong? This has always got me out of trouble. What did I do wrong? Not what did you do to me? What did I do? How did I do this to me? So I don't repeat it again. Every morning for 10 years, I said, today's the last day. I'm never going to use again. 15 minutes
10
later.
10 years.
10 years, 9 years and 9 years and like 6 months.
So what was the deciding factor that actually made you quit?
I finally went, I had to go someplace. I had to change my environment. So I went to a treatment center in Minneapolis during the wintertime, late February. I was 25 years old and spent 28 days there. In an environment where nobody had drugs. I didn't have access to drugs. And people were starting to talk about, okay, how'd you get here? They ended up putting me on drugs in the treatment center. And I'm like, I don't want the drugs, dude. And they're like, oh, no, you need it to detox, to get off. I'm like, this was 30 years ago. They've really ramped that program up now. It's the legal drug dealer now, is the treatment center. But the environment gave me at least, I was able to look around and see the damage drugs were causing these other people, men and women of all ages. And then that really solidified, okay, I'm stopping. But I needed one day not to use drugs because I had been using drugs every day for 9.5 years.
Wow.
And so I needed the first day. Once I got the first day, I'm like, shit, I can put together 2 days. Then my head started clearing up a little bit. 28 days later, I go home to Lake Charles, Louisiana, and that's when the rebuilding really took place. And I had to replace all that drug time, which was a bunch of hours every day. This is what made me the beast, like the savage that I am today. If you're young, whatever that means, I would quit telling people your age.
Like, I would not lead with I'm 12 or I'm 18. I'm only 22. Don't open with that. Nobody cares about your age. The only thing anybody cares about is their own age. Like, I've never thought, how old is Rob Moore? Never, ever, even like never considered that, like, because I don't care how old you are. I care how old I am, you know? And that's a fact of life that people, you know, Alexander the Great was 16 years old. He took over Persia. He didn't send a notice. Hey, by the way, I'm only 16. You know, like, not something. It's not good to lead with that. What you want to lead with is your ability to get attention and hook somebody. Okay, when my kids last night we were at dinner here, and these guys that I'm at dinner with, they've met everybody. You name them. If they're an American president, they met them. And this one guy looks at my daughter, Sabrina, and says, man, she is freaking amazing. She's 10. He's like, I've met them all. He's like, as an amazing human being. But it's because she knows how to communicate, right? How to get attention and hold it, how to keep it. I sat down and started writing, and I'm like, if I was 10x bigger, and if I was 10 times bigger right now, I would have $500 million worth of debt. $551 million. But I only have $51 million worth of debt. That's what I had in 2008. If I had, because the bank called me and said, we need the whole 51 million, or we're going to seize your property. Right. I'm like, dude, nobody's got 50 million right now. The world's coming to an end. Had I owed $500 million, they wouldn't have treated me like that. They'd have called me and said, how can we help you, Mr. Cardone? Want to be sure everything's all right. So I went and told my wife, I said, I'm going to write a book called The 10X Rule. And she's like, what's the 10X rule? The 10X rule basically is I'm going to have $500 million worth of debt the next time, and the bank will be my friend. When COVID happened, I owed $1.4 billion to the banks. That was 12 years ago. That's 30 times what I owed, 30X. The day COVID happened, the economy shut down. The world started going crazy, dude. The government started saying mortgage moratorium, eviction moratoriums. Like, I had 6 banks call me in one day. Mr. Cardone, we'd like to come to your office, see how we can help you work through this. Get big, baby. Okay? It's the 10X rule, man. The 10X rule says go big or
go home.
No, go bigger.
Go bigger.
Never go home, man. There ain't nothing at home.
Go bigger.
Looking for drugs, finding drugs, losing drugs. Like, you lose them,
hiding the drugs. Yeah.
Find them, buy them, lying to people, hiding from people. You know, it was terrible. It was terrible. I did that for 9.5 years. It was awful. It's the worst part of my life. It's the darkest, worst part of my life. And so I had to crawl out. And then I replaced, literally, when I was 25 years old, I started every day with a meeting, and I ended every day with a meeting. I'd go to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting or some kind of 12-step program I'll bet you I did that for 15 or 16 years.
So you were all in committed. I'm going to a meeting in the morning and at night.
I'm going there to help myself, and I'm gonna help somebody else every day.
Wow, 15 years.
Yeah, and then that was my form of helping people. I'm like, I'm gonna help other people that have this problem. That really kept me from going back. This guy takes the best photographs in the world.
Oh, this is Gotcha.
This guy takes the best video in the world.
What up, dog? What's happening with you?
That's little Johnny the camera guy. See, I had the same conversation with He's like, Grant, man, I'd love to bring you in, man, but you're not black, man. I said, yeah, what the matter what color I am, dude? Like, why we care? People need information. I don't look at people. I don't look at, like, hate. I look at money. People need money.
Look, my mother raised me to love people for who they are, period. What color they are. Who are they?
Yeah.
What is your spirit? What is your soul? What is your intake?
Yeah.
Because this don't mean
when money gets involved, color goes away.
Thank you.
Ain't nobody ever seen an ugly billionaire.
Me neither.
Huh?
Well, I ain't never seen an ugly dollar. Ugly
hey, man, I love you, man. Let's do some more stuff together, all right?
Let's please. I think it ain't no accident why, it ain't no accident why you reached out and I got back and we doing it again.
Good,
now it's time to expand and do it bigger. You said multiply, let's multiply.
And for the right people.
You're right.
These people are all paying. But there's some kids that can't pay.
That need to get the information first.
Yeah, because their mama's teaching them how to save money. They'll never fucking make to save money. Blackstone's taking retirement money. It's all bullshit. Dude, the whole thing's a scam. Saving money in the banks, scam.
I love it.
Everybody can do more, you know? And you don't know what you can do until you see other people doing big stuff. And that's why today, like, we started this talking about, in the past, I'd look up to people, want to pull them down. Now I'm like, wow, dude, that's an inspiration. And I look for people like all the way back to Jesus is an inspiration to me. Like, he left his town. You know, I've used that Jesus analogy, him leaving Bethlehem. Did he leave Bethlehem or Nazareth? Nazareth went to Bethlehem, something, right? So I'm like, you know what? Nobody would know him if he didn't leave home. I've moved from Lake Charles to Houston, Houston to San Diego to LA, LA to Miami. I might move again. Every move's been good for me. So you got to leave your home. You got to leave your comfort. You know, you got to walk the path, and you got to get a team. You can't do anything great by yourself. And I truly believe all of us, no matter where you are today, everybody can do 10 times more than you think you can. And before you get to 10x, you'll end up changing the goal to 10 times more.
If I had one thing to do over again, I would be like, I would learn communication skills, speaking skills, debating skills. I should have taken a debating class because I really don't know how to debate. I just make people wrong. You know, so and that's not debating, but I get away with it somehow. You know, but it doesn't work for most people. So people should. I would definitely go back at 18. Back to your first question, I would go back and take debating classes. I would take communication classes. I'd probably learn how to code. I would definitely learn how these guys are creating funds. SPACs is a new thing. Hedge funds. I would learn how to do surveys and find out, hey, what is it people actually want? And I would learn how to read about money flows and people flows and the internet and algorithms and all this fascinating stuff. But I would only do it for one reason, by the way, just so everybody's clear. Okay, I would only do it so I can make a lot of money. When I really started learning from in the beginning, what you learn is you're learning from the master. You know, and so I'm duplicating and emulating. Then at some point you cross over and you become the master. And if you're a guy like me, I'm always looking to improve everything. I'm looking for another little tweak, another little twist. You and I did that with the podcast. I'm looking for that next thing all the time, how to make something just a little better, a little faster. And so at some point, I kept studying this guy until I was able. In the beginning, I didn't challenge anything. I duplicated.
Let me follow the script that I learned. Let me use exactly what he's telling me to do. Do it.
Whatever I heard, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna make that work. That's gonna be my stable datum. And once I could trust that, then I could build on top of it. I never butted anything. Oh, I got a better way in the beginning. Dude, until I got the results over and over, consistent results, then I started teaching it to other people. Then I started learning angles.
You kind of alluded to like your belief system, your spirituality. What is that belief real quickly? I mean, like just, can you put it into words?
Yeah, I believe that I'm a spiritual being and, you know, and I'm in a body but I'm not a body. I'm not a brain. I'm not a piece of meat. I'm not bones. I'm not 5'8". I'm not 170 pounds. You know, I'm beyond time and energy and measurable units. So I'm not really Grant. That's my name that was given to me. These things that I've done, the cars that I drive, it's just stuff like the Undercover Billionaire was extremely spiritually liberating adventure for me.
Really? How so?
Because I lost everything. I didn't have my money, didn't have the Rolls, didn't have the G63, didn't have the Gulfstream, didn't have my name, dude, didn't have my social media, you know, didn't have my hair, didn't have my goodies, you know, I didn't have 150 people on my team. It was me. And I'm like, damn, dude, like, I don't need anything.
Yeah.
I'm in a new environment where nobody knows me. And like, it was so empowering because I'm like, I am capable of taking care of myself without money, without credit cards, with just communication, you know?
I think even in success, some people luck up, right? I mean, the right way.
They don't know. They don't know. I 100% agree with what you're saying. They wonder, can I do it again?
Yeah.
There's that doubt. Could I do it again? And when Discovery went to help me out a little bit, like, because they're producing a show, like, let's keep it real. I'm like, I don't want your help. And they're like, no, we got a meeting for you with so-and-so. I don't want it.
Because for you, this ain't about a show.
Throw it in the trash. I don't want it. And they're like, well, no, it's going to be good TV. I cannot take your help. And they're like, why? We're trying to help you. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. Once I take your help, I can't help me. Once you help me, then I become reliant on your help. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and say, can you help me? 3 days from now I'm gonna be like, hey, why aren't you helping me? Like I become disabled. Money follows attention. When I get enough attention, money will follow it. If I can get enough people to listen to me, somebody will say, hey, I want to sponsor an ad because there's so many people. I just did a deal this weekend. It took like that long because of my audience. I want to give you this much money and I want to give you options in my company. And I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope good stuff happens. But he sees me interacting with all these people and converting people, right? So money follows attention. If I can get really bright over here, money will go to that. If it's a good cause. If it's a bad cause, it's not going to work. Okay. But what happens is the attention wanes. It goes away. If you can spike the money game, the attention will follow again. People pay a lot of money to be in the Super Bowl or big soccer game, right? Because there's a lot of people there. So if you can learn about algorithms, getting eyeballs, keeping eyeballs, surveys, learning how to keep people's attention, man, you're gonna be unbelievable. And it won't matter how old you are, by the way. I actually almost threw away what I had learned and created this new thing called information assisted selling.
Information assisted selling.
Where I started leading with what people wanted rather than this guy kind of hid. It was the old school, hide it. Don't avoid the price, bring it up later. And that's why I really started accelerating everything, giving people the information up front, allowing you to understand how much this watch or ring was or car was. Before you even asked about it, I'd tell you it's $58,000.
Right away. So you wouldn't wait till the very end. You'd say, here's everything.
Look, if you're shopping for a car or a watch or a ring or a coaching program, whatever it is, you probably want to know how much it is. I know I would. This particular product's $58,000. It would require about $2,500 down. Your payments would be about $550 a month. Let's be sure you're on the right product. You see, I got the value proposition, the money. I got you thinking about money right now. I want you thinking about money so that when I show the product, you can start making sense of it. Because I can't convince you that it's worth it. You have to convince you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can build value, but the buyer is the buyer. I can't be the buyer. I can only help the buyer make sense of it. I've somehow figured out, just over time, that I keep adding these little companies. And I didn't know this, it was just kind of a mistake, but all I was looking for is I didn't want to depend on one flow of anything, okay? This was the first company, this was me. I was out selling stuff, picking up money. Okay, next thing I did was I had a partnership with a guy right here called the Cardone Group. It's in Orlando, Florida. It's been a partnership for 25 years. Guy paid me a royalty to use my name. It was passive income. I gave him a majority of the company. He sat there for 25 years and went pumped his deal, used my material, okay? And then we created a third company. This was the real estate. I started investing in real estate. I started buying real estate, provided me with a third flow of income. Now, what happened was I got fat right here, and I got, what's the word? Complacent. Like, okay, I'm good. Started playing golf 3 times a week. Everything's good. I'm I'm doing great. I'm Alan. Okay, and then 2010 came. 2008 came, I was like, it just took the little 3 circles. I didn't have the 4th circle, the 5th circle, the 6th circle, the 7th circle. I didn't have all these, I didn't have product lineups. How many of you have Cardone U here? Let me just see a hand. Didn't exist, that product. Let me see a hand if you have Cardone University. Okay, beautiful, man. Look at the penetration. Unbelievable. Like you, if you want customer retention, get saturation. Don't make people happy. Make sure they buy your product. I'm not interested in making people happy. I'm interested in having people on my product. Some people you can't make happy. It's impossible. They're not happy people. All right? So 2010 comes, crushes me. I went back to selling.
working on that business right there and buying more real estate and then creating more companies, okay? So that I can start bringing good people in. You understand? You gotta keep expanding. You cannot be dependent upon one thing because that one thing can go away. Everybody agree with that? One ad, one promotion, one person, one product, one of anything.
What have you learned about the art of negotiation during, these bigger deals for yourself? How to navigate those?
Most of these deals are lost over face. They're not even lost over money. They're lost over somebody losing face. I'm doing a deal right now.
You mean ego, or you mean like, what do you mean?
I can't, if I give you any more, I lose face.
Okay, got you.
So I'm negotiating a deal right now, and I said, look, if I give this guy exactly what he wants right now, he still will not do it. And they're like, why is that? Because he's going to lose face. So it's people have to win. It's almost never about just the money. It's how do I win, not just financially, but how do I win and feel good about this transaction? Because I've done transactions before where I supposedly won in the moment and everybody felt terrible.
So it's not a win unless everyone wins.
Dude, everybody needs to win. Everybody needs to win something. Like everybody needs to feel like good about the transaction. I'd rather pay a little more and make sure you feel good than I pay a little less and you feel bad because I can't do another deal with you now. And I'm trying to do more deals. And then everybody's got a motivation. Everyone has a motivation. Every buyer has a motivation. Every seller has a motivation. Most of the time, it has nothing to do with the money. You have to find the motivation.
How do you do that quickly for yourself? Are you asking certain questions to figure out what that is? Are you just listening to their, without asking them, what's your motivation? How do you ask them?
I could ask that. Other than money, what do you need? What's your motivation? I could ask them straight up. Asking those kind of direct questions are very powerful. Hey, why would you pick me as a buyer? There's so many other people that could buy this asset. Like that's one I used in the real estate game. These are $100 million projects. Why don't you be the greatest YouTuber in the world, the greatest skateboarder in the world? Do like something that's real. Don't be a liar. Everybody's gonna know it. And the higher up you go in the food chain, the harder it is to trick people. I don't know, if I was 15 years old today, I'd probably be teaching people. First I'd go after the kid market, which really is a parent market. I talk to parents. And I'd probably create a YouTube channel about how parents can get their kids to learn faster. And maybe come up with some tricks and hacks and ebooks and courses to create a big audience. I don't know that I'd sell anything in the beginning. Maybe I would, but I need to create a big audience so then later either someone else or myself can sell something to them. But look, if it doesn't include an audience, you don't have a business. So I think the first thing people need to do is figure out how to create an audience. Hey, it's been said by people for thousands of years, what you thinketh is what you getteth. Look behind me and you will see dreams being made into reality. Imagine that back here in London, I don't know, 1,000 years ago, 800 years ago, I don't actually know my history that well. None of this existed. Somebody dreamed about it. Somebody probably thought about, wow, one day we'll have a village there. One day we'll have a city there. So today I want to talk to you about, in this video, I want to talk to you about your dreams, what you're thinking about. What are you imagining? I make up in my mind that somebody thought about a little small township, not ever imagining that one day there would be towers and glass and steel and spheres and, oh my gosh, a city with, 20 million people in it. Literally where all the money in the universe, all the money on this planet moves through this city. The highly successful people dream, they imagine, they spend time literally writing out what their future might look like. Now, when I talk about dreaming in this segment, I'm not talking about when you sleep and dream. I'm not talking about nightmares. I'm not talking about daydreaming. I'm talking about you envisioning what your future might be like. When you see other people and you're like, God, I wish I could do that, or I wish I could have that. Other people, if you speak about that out loud, they're going to try to talk you out of it. They're going to tell you things like, oh, that's too much and that's ridiculous. I thought, oh, I'm going to dream. People are going to try to talk me out of it because I had people trying to talk me out of real estate, being on stage, speaking in front of tens of thousands of people, running my own events, creating millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in net worth. I had people trying to talk me out of that because I thought that they were jealous or envious, or that they're like, okay, if Grant gets it, I can't have it. But the truth is, most of the people that were trying to talk me out of my dreams and my visualizations and me spending time on actually imagining what I could achieve, they weren't trying to talk me out of it because they couldn't have it. They were trying to talk me out of it because they quit. Okay, it's crazy. Look, it's not true when somebody tells you you can't have everything you want. Look at this. Look behind me. Look at the ships. Look at the water. Look at the river, okay? Look at the commerce. Look at the monetization that's happening back here. The new buildings that are being built. The glass and the steel and buildings going up way higher than anybody ever imagined possible. Focus on your dreams. The highly successful people do this. They think about what is possible, and then they get themselves around other people that are dreaming. You can't just dream on your own. You got to get around other people that actually allow your dream to breathe and helps you with your imagination. You can't really paint, okay, or create art in a vacuum. You need ideas. You need to see what other people are thinking and doing in order to see what you could imagine or put down on paper. Look, the fact is you're going to get what you focus on. You're getting it right now. Whatever you have today is what you focused on, thought about in your mind, activated in real life, and then reinforced on a daily basis. If you're in poverty today, it's because you probably grew up in poverty, thought about poverty, think you're only poverty, think that you can only have poverty, and yes, guess what? That's what you had. Bill Gates said, if you're born poor, it's not your fault. If you stay poor, yes, it is. Your fault, that is. See, this is already taking place in your life. Your dreams, if you take responsibility, your dreams, if you're willing to take full responsibility for what you have right now, hey, the fact is what you've been dreaming, daydreaming, night dreaming, work dreaming, thinking about, what you've been talking about, what you've been focusing on throughout your 24-hour period each day is what you're getting. Look, no person's happy without a goal. No person's going to be happy if they're not working on being happy. People that have faith in the ability to reach a goal, people that have faith in the ability to win, to reach a goal, to hit a milestone, to achieve something, those people are happy. So it's not just dreaming, it's like going to work every day and saying, hey, I have a dream, I have a goal, I have a target, and I want to achieve that, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure I do achieve that. You got to take a risk, you got to take a risk, you got to take a risk. I mean, that is what an entrepreneur does. Like and a lot of people call themselves entrepreneurs. I'm like, you need to look up the definition. Okay, you are violating the one most important thing about being an entrepreneur. Take risks. Because I was talking to a guy the other day. He's like, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm like, how much equity do you have in your house? He tells me like 200,000 pounds. Good. How much money do you have in the bank? 300,000. How much money do you have in retirement accounts? He had like 50 times more money in all those things than he had in his business. I'm like, man, you're not taking risk. You're actually avoiding risk. Okay. So you need to go be the avoiding risk person. So become just an investor or a saver.
You got to commit first. When you know something's right, folks, commit. Go all in on the deal. Nobody knows what you're up to. Nobody knows what's going on inside me. I called my mom that night and I said, I met my wife today. And she's like, well, have y'all been out? Where did y'all go? What did you do? I said, no, she hates me. And she's like, she hates you? Grant, it takes two. And this is what I knew from being in business. And if you're taking notes, it might be worthwhile. It does not take two to tango. It does not take two to make a marriage. And it does not take a buyer and a seller. What it takes is you. It needs to be you first. You have to decide they're selling the house, and you got to decide that they're buying the house before any house makes a transaction. I had to decide that she was going to be the girl before she could see that I was going to be the guy. You guys with me? All right. 26 phone calls. All of them were light. Hey, how you doing? You know, I didn't mention that she never calls me back. I didn't mention that she was breaking my heart every time she didn't call me. I didn't mention the fact that her best friend said I was too short. Okay? You guys know what all your objections are, don't you? Like her friend said, you're too short. I said, just tell me what the real deal is. I got to know what the objection is. I cannot handle the unspoken objection. What is the real deal? Grant, you're too short. I said, okay, what else? What else you got? You're not a Hollywood guy. She's an actress. I wasn't in Hollywood. I'm not an actor. Okay, good. What else? You're a businessman. She thinks you're too conservative. Okay, what else? What else you got? Well, you don't have a prison record. You don't have a prison record, no tattoos. She liked bad boys, okay? How many ladies here like the bad boys? Just be honest. Okay, be honest. Lady over here is like, yes, I love them, okay? So I just continue to pursue her because like somebody said earlier, sometimes people change. How many of you in the room have changed? How many of you in the room have changed? Exactly, you're gonna keep changing too. Some of you you're not gonna like. So I pursued her until one day, because I know this, okay? And you might wanna keep this in your collection of how you handle discouragement along the way. When you get a no, would you agree that no is a version of yes? How many would agree with that? Dude, look, I mean, think about it. What's the opposite of yes? What's the opposite of no? What's in between? Maybe. So I always tell people when they tell me no, I'm like, don't say no, say maybe. Okay, just say maybe. Oh, well, maybe, Grant, maybe, but not right now. Excellent, because I know no's can turn into yeses. I said no to a lot of things in life and then done them. You've walked into a casino before. I am not gambling tonight. I will not gamble. You came down to Cabo. I am not drinking while I'm here. Okay, some of you came down. No enriched bread while I'm here. No chips, no guacamole, nothing, okay? And as soon as you got down here, you're just like freaking hitting shots, eating guacamole, slamming it in your face, right? So how do you get from no to yes? Just show up in Cabo. It's a maybe, right? How do you get somebody to say, go from not selling their house to yes, I will? Get to a maybe, and then follow them up.
3 parts to the real estate game. Number 1 is the deal. I found me a good one right here. I'm in the Heights, one of the most desirable neighborhoods in all of the 713. Number 1's the deal. Number 2's the debt. You got to get a bank that's willing to lend on that. We're working on that right now. Debt market's insane right now, and I'm still learning how to play that game, making connections, getting relationships with people. I've had money quoted to me at 3 3.75, all the way down to 2.75, and then last night got some money quoted to me at under 2%. Insane in the membrane. Changes everything in the game when you can get your debt right. The third part of the deal is cash, equity. How much can you put down to buy the deal? So many of you out there would be looking at deals this size if you knew how to get the debt and the equity, but because you think you're short on debt and equity, you reduce the deal size or the location or the quality of the asset. Most of you are chasing the debt and the equity when the truth is you should be chasing the deal, because the right deal with the right story and the right location, the right traffic, the right renter, it'll always bring the money. I'll tell you a story. I just did a deal in Boca Raton. I paid $70 million for the deal. And I knew, like I moved on this deal so fast, it was unbelievable because I knew that market, right? I didn't have to do a lot of research because I'd already done the research. So I still did the research, right? Because I'd already done the research, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go check out this restaurant right now, see how they're doing. And bought the deal, closed the deal, very little due diligence, by the way. Just wham. Looking for reasons to buy the deal because I knew the location. We raised the rents $500 a month already. I've been in it 60 days. We just had maybe two rent leases come in at $1,000 more than they were before we bought them. And we got great plans for the property. We're gonna do great stuff for the tenants there. Point is, when you raise the rents, man, guess what? You make the property better. You have more money to take care of your tenants. It improves the value of the property and gives you some momentum in that property. And then momentum to buy more deals. Point is, dude, find the right deal in the right location at the right time and the right price. The debt and the equity will follow.
I called the lender today. He's like, I paid $69 million. They're like, we'll give you $60 million worth of debt on that deal based on his performance just in the last 60 days since you took ownership. That is unbelievable. That means I only need $9 million to buy the deal, and I've already raised 20. Again, know your location. Get some support around you. Real estate is a team sport. Okay, it's about relationships. The debt's about relationships. The equity's about relationships. And the deals are about relationships. Best advice I ever received. My mom said, "Hey, invest in yourself. You'll never lose." I have reminded myself of that so many times. Workshops I go to, events that I attend, where I'm going as somebody to get educated. Okay, books that I've read, I'm like, it's not a waste of time. Even if you don't think you learned anything, it is not a waste of time. You think you haven't, that it was a waste of time or you didn't learn anything because you hadn't used it yet. You may use that piece of data one day. And so, number one, anything you invest in time or money in trying to improve yourself, you're not going to lose that. The beauty salon, the restaurant, the bar owner, the consultant, we've all had the experience of resenting our customers, starting not to like them. And it's because we become dependent upon them. We have too few.
If we're resenting our customer, what is that saying about us? That we're not building our brand, that we're not growing, that we're not selling enough?
Yeah, you didn't build the top of your funnel out enough because this part of it's easy. Even though you hate them, they never pay you money. This is the kind of stuff that goes on. They don't pay me enough. They always complain. They never use the product. No matter what I do for them, they bitch and complain. Okay, they're never happy. Blah blah blah. Right? Well, the truth is, those are indications that you didn't build your customer base wide enough because you now resent them. Your resentment is an indication that you rely on them too much. And every time they complain to you, it reminds you, shit, I'm too reliant on too little. And we've all done it. We all do it. I've done it. Right now, I'm doing it in my real estate. I told my guy, Ryan, the other day, I said, we're depending on this one guy too much. And he's like, why do you say that? Because I'm starting to resent him.
So what's the first thing we should do? What's the action steps after that when we resent our customers?
You got to understand, it's not about them. It's about you. It has nothing to do with them. You need to go wide. You need to go get more customers. If you resent Facebook, if Facebook pisses you off, it is because you are too reliant on Facebook. Money's pretty simple too. How do you get it? How do you keep it? How do you multiply it? Most people spend their whole life just getting it. They never know how to keep it. I mean, we don't even understand basic stuff. That currency is basically comes from the word current, where something is moving. You don't actually get to own money. You don't own the money. The money is going to go some other place. And so, yeah, it's unfortunate, but we're taught nothing on that subject.
How do you build wealth and stay happy at the same time?
Well, number one is I don't think, money will not make you happy. Like, if you're not happy, you're not happy. So it'll make you jubilant and it'll make you giddy for a second. If I dropped off $100 million, at your feet right now, it would definitely change your attitude for a bit. But sooner or later, you're coming back. You're coming back to your happiness level. I've never tried to get money to make me happy, ever. I've never thought, I'm going to go get X money, this much money, and I'm going to somehow be happier. I've never, ever, I don't even know where this concept came from, the connection between the two. I go to the gym, I think I'm going to build muscle. I go to the water fountain, I think I'm going to quench a thirst. I go to a football game, I think I'm going to be entertained. I get money, I never think about, I'm going to get 10 million bucks and I'm going to suddenly be happy. Now, I never even think about it like that. I'm going to get 10 million and then I'm going to invest it and I'm going to pick up 30 million on the next swing and I'm going to take 30 million and convert that to 90 million. I'm going to take that and convert it into 270 and I'm going to get to, blah, 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 right? And then what am I going to do with it? But dude, I'm never thinking about it. It's going to make me happy.
Your biggest expense in business, if you got a talent or you got a business, your biggest expense is number one, your taxes. What the wealthy know is how to reduce their tax bill. That's what you don't know that you got to get a handle on. Reduce your tax bill. to literally zero and beyond. That's right, beyond. That's where you would get tax refunds or credits going forward to reduce your income tax, federal and state, to zero. How do you do that? I'm going to show you. Anybody can do it. It's completely legal, and if you don't do it, come on, you're just not following the tips of the wealthy. I didn't grow up with wealth. I grew up and had to figure out how to take my talent, increase my income, reduce my tax bill, and then get my money to work for me harder than I worked for my damn money. The goal is to take your earnings, reduce it to zero, still have the money, but take the money and invest it. So let's say you're earning $2 million a year. If you live in New York City, $1 million of that is going to the IRS. That means you got to figure out how to live on $1 million. And if you're a ball player, out of that came 200 grand for an agent, another 200 grand probably for a manager, and you're having to live on 800,000. If you buy a house for your mother, you're freaking broke again. So I'm gonna show you how to play the game. You earn 2 million, okay? Live on as little of this money as you can in the beginning. Do not spend earned income. Don't spend it. What you do is you invest it and use it in a second business and or real property. So let's say I take 200 million, the state's gonna take, you're still gonna have your $400,000 go to agents and managers. You got $1.6 million. I want you to invest as much of that $1.6 million into real property. Real property will buy you about $4.8 million worth of, in this case, real estate. That $4.8 million worth of real estate, because it's got real property, $4.8 million, for instance, in a deal that I'm doing right now, will provide you with $2.4 million worth of depreciation that reduces this tax bill of 1.6 after your managers, these are expenses, to negative $800,000 that can be CF carry forward into future years. That means next year, if you earn $2 million, you're walking into that year with an $800,000 credit against your income. Now you need to check with your tax attorney. You need to check with your accountant. You need to check with your manager and your agent, but I'll promise you all four of them are going to tell you this guy's on to something. Get your earned income. Earned income needs to be zero, and passive income, I need to invest in a new whiteboard. Your passive income of the, what did we say, $1.6 million that we invested, that we have left over, we literally, I'm encouraging you literally, no watches, no houses in the beginning, okay? Don't spend any money on the stuff. No Ferraris. Take the 1.6, leverage it. It'll buy $4.8 million worth of real property. Okay, you want to stay focused on your baseball, your basketball, your rapping. You want to focus on your business. Or maybe you want to invest this money back in your business and zero out, okay? You want to reinvest in furniture, equipment, if you're a musician, into equipment, touring, anything to do with your business, to grow your business. Literally get your earned income to be zero. The tax bill on zero is zero. 61% of all citizens in the United States last year made no contribution to the federal income taxes. Your job is to make sure that you take your earned income, because you got a lot of talent, reinvest that money, okay, so that you can be better talent and or prepare for transition when you no longer have that talent. So this $1.6 million of earned income after your agent and your manager, you would invest and leverage 3 to 4 times, buy $4.8 million worth of real estate that would give you $2.4 million worth of depreciation in the first year. It's a little complicated now. This is called accelerated depreciation. But this is the game. This is the game that the wealthy know how to use, and that's why they tend to use all their earned income, okay? Some of the biggest players in the world, they pay themselves zero, $1 a year. I think Mark Zuckerberg makes $1 a year, but he gets stock options, real property. This $2.4 million of depreciation you get in 2021, If you use it all, you'll get it again in 22. If you don't use it all, you'll get it again in 2023. And you're going to continue to do this every year, okay? I'm going to continue to do the same mechanism every year, reinvesting earned income, okay? So stay with me here, okay? Watch what's going to happen. This $4.8 million worth of real estate, remember this, it's in the box. You own that. That's your position, okay? This $1.6 million that you invested should provide you with about $90,000 a year in income. Passive income, okay? That's in year one. If you do this again in year two, it's gonna get you another $90,000 a year in passive income. That's 180 grand by year two. But in year two, you now have $9.6 million worth of real estate, real property that should be appreciating in value, providing you and your family with passive income. Now we're at about $15,000 a month in passive income, and you're starting to prepare third year, fourth year, fifth year. Now you're at $75,000 a month in passive income. You're gonna exit your career because, look, you got 5 years, maybe at max. Ball players, artists, you don't have forever. You're not gonna be a 35-year baseball player or basketball player. So if you start multiplying these years, in year two, I'm at 180,000. In year four, I'm at 360. At year eight, I'm at 700 grand in passive income per year. And that is not counting the value of the real property, which in this case, if I can take this out 8 years, if you could duplicate this every year, not get a pay raise every year, 8 years, 8 times, if we did this every year, $4.8 million, you've paid no taxes for 8 years. In a perfect situation. And that would be $38,400,000 worth of real estate that is going up in value every year. If this just goes up 3% a year, I could take this out and I'd say in the next 10 to 15 years, you'll have $100 million worth of real estate. Throwing out passive income, most of the passive income is now not taxed at the highest rates. It's somewhere as low as 19% a year, where you're paying 48 to 63, depending on whether you live in LA or New York or one of these crazy states.
Happiness for me comes from doing
Personally,
stuff.
yeah.
It comes from accomplishing things. Like I experience my happiness when I accomplish something I'm proud of. So when we do a conference and I walk away and I'm thrilled at the event we put on, the quality, the lights, that feels good. When the people around me are happy, when I look around, when I'm proud of who I'm being and doing every day, that makes me happy. Seeing my kids I'm so proud of my kids. They're such a validation that I'm a good guy. When I can't see the good guy in me, I can look at Sabrina and Scarlett and say, hey, dude, you gotta be a good guy to produce those. If you think you're going to build a brand because you create one great video, it ain't going to happen.
So you need to create a lot of content.
One masterpiece. Somebody said the other day, I said, you post that video? He's like, it's not ready yet. I said, you know what? A video posted's better than a video that's perfect.
True.
Post the video. I don't need it to be perfect. Nobody's asking for perfect. Okay, so this is why TVs are dying. Because the production on a TV show takes so long that by the time the TV show comes out, everybody's lost interest in it and they're doing something else. Exactly. I mean, we have viewership on some of our channels, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, or Twitter, or LinkedIn, or Snapchat. We have viewership higher than some TV channels in America that spent billions of dollars. While they're planning, writing scripts, we're producing content.
You're just broadcasting,
We broadcast, okay? And then so you can't, one masterpiece will not beat 10,000 pieces of content. So number one. Number two, you need to post frequently enough to where you almost annoy your audience. Okay, you actually have to get them through the annoying part. Like, oh, he posted too much. He's posted too much. You need to post just a little bit more, so they're like, oh wow, this guy's. I can trust him now.
On the other side of the annoying is I can trust him to post. Okay. Then the third thing is you got to keep the content entertaining and interesting. So you're not going to know how to do that because you post once or twice. And whatever you're doing this year, probably 3 or 4 or 5 years from now, you're going to look back and say, golly, that was garbage. It's going to change, I promise you. So, I've posted, 6,000 videos on YouTube. I don't know what I posted on Instagram, a bunch. A couple thousand posts on Instagram. I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. So just so everybody knows, there is no schedule. There's no plan. There's a commitment, not a plan. So the commitment is, hey, we are going to tell the world, show the world what we're doing. Now, whether that's me on my jet or me just buying a new car or me with my family, I've been ridiculed for all those things. He's using his kids for Instagram. I said, I didn't bring my kid to the live show. Okay, my kid walked in while I was doing a show at 9 o'clock at night because she woke up. I'm not going to stop the show because my kid walks in my life any more than I'm going to stop my life because my kid walks into my life.
Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you are different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag Believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video because you are awesome. For 50 more rules from Grant Cardone, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
No money that you have is not the issue. It takes money to make money. It doesn't actually take money to make money. It takes courage to make money. It takes contacts to make money. Money is a contact sport. I need to make contact with people.